Hey, so I actually did go ahead and relook at the first chapter of the Illidan book, and yeah, it really does like start like right here as they're preparing to do this. Like the dialogue we just heard, where Kama shows up and Illidan says, "I promise you that your people will have your vengeance." And it goes up to the end of this at the end where Kil'Jaedan shows up. The most of the chapter don't have to because we're going to be basically experiencing it in this mission. However, there is a couple of things I did actually feel like I want to read for you. One is an exchange that happens between Illidan and Akama after the defeat of Magtheridon, which I don't believe is going to be shown here. The other is what happens in Illidan's mind when Kil'Jaedan shows up, because a lot of what happens in terms of the mental exchange between Illidan and Kil'Jaedan when Kil'Jaedan shows up is not shown on camera. So I want to give you guys an idea of what Kil'Jaedan is capable of when he shows up, especially when it comes to basically reading your mind. But I'll be getting to that. Expect this to be a little long because I actually have a kind of a cool little finale for this part in this campaign in mind, just to kind of play up how this was basically setting up what we were going to be going into in the Burning Crusade. So anyways, what do you guys say we get underway here? So let's see.
We will share.
We have a Kama now. So he is here. You'll notice that the Draenei are just permanently stealthed. Like, they're not seen at all. I was showing that cutscene because they just are able to be permanently stealthed. It's pretty great.
My strength is yours. How may I aid you? The orcs slaughtered my people, and their demon magics consumed our world. We that are left will reclaim what we can of life and honor amongst the ashes of our history. We follow the ancient path. I'm too old for this. At my age, you see death everywhere. Death! I can fight just like a... To battle! Hold my teeth.
Hold my teeth.
How can this old one help? I give you my wisdom. We will share our ways.
My ancestors call. We will share our ways. I'm too old for this. Ugh. I can fight just like a... Better hurry before I die. How can this old one help? My ancestors call.
Okay, so... yeah. Yeah, if you want to know what the Draenei have been going through, it's kind of touched on in the trailer for the Black Temple raid. So we've got Vosh and her Naga forces over here. Alright. Got an altar of kings over here. So no need for upgrades, it looks like. We're just straight up just, yeah, going in. So we need to slay The Pit Lord Magtheridon rules with the absolute power of the Black Citadel and its regime of demonic minions to slaughter Magtheridon's two Dark Lieutenants, the Master of Pain and the Mistress of Torment, in order to seize their Shadow Keys and gain access to his throne chamber. Destroy the power generators. The seemingly impenetrable defenses of Magtheridon's Black Citadel are powered by a series of magical generators. If someone could sneak past the Guardians and destroy the generators, each of their defenses could be negated, allowing easy access to the rest of the stronghold. Perhaps Akama and his Jedi followers would be up to the task.
How may I aid you? For Draenor, if it must be done.
Yeah, go attack Illidan. That's gonna work.
I'll do my best.
Our forces are under attack.
So let's see.
I will do what I can.
If I just tell them go.
As fast as I can. I will try. Blood for blood.
They just sneak right by.
I will do what I can.
Ah ha ha ha.
If it must be done.
Use them to assault the strongholds that guard the Mistress of Torment. In a bit.
I'll do my best.
Look how they just don't even notice. The Horde of Agony. Maim. Uh-oh. So Kama has Feral Spirit and Chain Lightning and Shadow Strike and Reincarnation. And that makes perfect sense.
I give you my wisdom. I will try. As fast as I
Kama
can.
is basically, you know, in a number of ways can be considered a shaman. So that's the Master of Pain. Basically, looks like a big Doom Guard. Gee, if only my Warlock could be able to actually have one of those guys. And, of course, the Mistress of Torment is just a succubus. No surprise.
If it must be done.
Is it not even possible for them to reach it? I suppose not.
As fast as I can.
Alright, Akama, why don't you guys just chill there? I suppose now it's Lady Vash's turn.
Time is short, mortal. Brilliant. In Asara's name.
Huh.
Brilliant.
Our forces are under attack.
Our will shall be done. For the Empress. By your command.
Our forces are under attack.
My song echoes from the depths. Yes.
Okay.
From the
So now...
Blind, not deaf.
So it's Illidan Kale. We have a couple of sorceresses, three priests, and a number of spellbreakers. Okay.
Our forces
Hardly
are under
a
attack.
challenge.
I will not be trifled with. In Asharo's name.
Our forces are under attack.
My song is yours. My song is yours.
Our forces are under attack.
Are there demons nearby? Elusive. You dare speak to me? What's the holdup? It shall be done. Outstanding. Very good.
Our forces are under attack.
Bosh
Is
those
it
again.
My people must be avenged.
Are there demons nearby?
We should move soon. I'll do my best.
I grow anxious to
Our
act.
forces are under attack.
The Legion of Anguish. Huh.
Our forces are under attack.
I'm blind, not deaf. I said something elusive. I grow impatient.
Our forces are under attack.
Easily. My people must be avenged. The nearby bastion holds many of the Orcs' demonic siege weapons. We must crush the compound's defenders and claim the weapons for our own.
Under attack.
Our will shall be done.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay.
Yes, my friend.
Alright, so now let's go over here.
Demons nearby.
Get this gate.
Are there demons nearby? Evil draws close. I come to cleanse this land. Easily. I grow impatient. You dare speak to me? The Orc siege machines are ours. We'll use Magtheridin's own weapons against him.
Yes.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay, so now I've got a couple of siege engines here.
Our forces are under
I'm
attack.
blind, not deaf. Is that all?
Yes, my friend. As you wish.
Our forces are under attack.
Time is short, mortal. By your command, Brilliant.
Our forces are under attack.
You dare speak to me? Evil draws close.
Our forces are under attack.
Hardly a challenge.
My strength is yours. I will do what I can.
Our forces are under attack.
I grow impatient.
Our forces are under attack.
Uh-oh.
I will not be trifled with. For the Empress. For Natatar.
Our forces are under attack.
Did I just lose all of Vosh's forces?
Is it time?
I think I did because I didn't go straight for this thing.
Verasaja.
Our forces are under attack.
Taste my sting.
I feel edgy. Very good. I feel edgy. It shall be done.
How may I aid you?
Okay.
Time
So
is
now those
short,
defenses are
mortal.
down. Okay. Gonna have to really help out with Vosh's forces here. Since she's now basically all by herself.
I grow anxious to act.
And it's gonna be a little difficult for her to take out the mistress of Torment if she's all by herself.
Brilliant. By your command.
It's alright. She's in the water. She's fine.
I sense
My
something
song
elusive.
echoes from the deeps.
Outstanding.
I'm blind, not deaf.
From the murky depths I come.
Easily.
Hey, sailor. On my way.
Our forces are under attack.
My song echoes from the deeps.
There are demons nearby.
Hardly a challenge.
Our will shall be done. In Ashara's name.
Our forces are under attack.
My song echoes from the deeps. Done.
Is it time? Brilliant.
Our forces are under attack.
Depths I come. How can this old one help? Koshagar.
My song echoes from the deeps.
I will do what I can.
Our forces are under attack.
If it must be done. Koshagar.
Are there demons nearby?
My people must be avenged.
Forces are under attack.
My song echoes from the deeps.
We will share our ways.
Our forces are under attack.
My best.
Blood Fiend.
I give you my wisdom. My strength is
My
yours.
song echoes
My
with
strength is yours.
Our forces are under attack.
How can this old one help?
You dare speak to me?
Is it possible for these guys to make it over here
Is that all?
somehow? Can they also make it over here
Our forces are under attack.
to help out Vosh?
What ails you?
I give you my wisdom.
Is someone injured?
Don't be afraid. By land or sea,
I grow anxious to act.
Trying to figure out where exactly do I go to get this generator. Alright.
Depths I come.
Like, where is the pathway?
Our forces are under attack.
I'm confused because it's within the throne chamber where Magtheridon is. Oh, do I have to go destroy it? Okay. Wow. Alright, I thought I had to do that before I face him. Never mind.
I'm blind, not deaf.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay, apparently they can't get there.
Hardly a challenge. Is that all?
Our forces are under attack.
I will not be trifled with. Our will shall be done. Time is short, mortal. In Ashara's name.
Why should I?
Alright.
I will not be trifled with.
Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
By your command. Yes. For the Empress.
Our forces are under attack.
Taste my sting.
Huh. Now we got a fellow orc warlock on our side.
Is it time?
There we go. Okay.
don't be afraid.
Ah, okay. Now that we know of a way that gate can open.
You've done it, Lord Illidan. The defenses are broken. Only Magtheridon and his lackeys stand before us.
I will honor our pact.
Time is short, mortal. For the Empress.
Okay. You guys,
Yes, my friend.
make your way over here, please.
Right away.
My strength is yours.
Everybody over here.
Our will shall be done.
Everybody join. Massive army.
We share our ways.
Alright, come on. What do you say you sneak by and go attack those things?
How can this old one help? Blood for blood! My strength is yours. My strength is yours.
Alright. Now, we can move forward.
Are there demons nearby?
Charge! Everybody charge!
Our
I
forces
grow
are under
anxious
attack.
to act.
Is my aid required? Hold up.
Yes, to me.
I'm gonna save Illidan's immolation and demo form for Magtheridon.
How can this old one help? Blood for blood.
Join the battle, Akama.
How may I aid you?
I'm blind, not deaf.
Go.
Our forces are under attack.
My goodness. Okay, he must have had like a mana shield because his health was not moving. Now it is, though.
We should move soon.
No, Akama, no!
We should move soon.
There we go. I rezzed him at the end.
I do not know you, stranger, but your power is vast. Are you an agent of the Legion? Have you been sent to test me?
I have come to replace you. You're a relic, Magtheridon. A ghost of a past age. The future is mine. From this moment on, Outland and all of its denizens will bow to me. Hear me now, you trembling mortals. I am your lord and master. Illidan reigns supreme.
So I know that seems contradictory to what I said earlier, but trust me when I say Illidan, that's not what his real goal here was. This was all about his long-term plan. And that even happens during the conversation with Akama. So, we of course don't, they don't kill Magtheridon. They instead bind him. That's even explained in the book as well. It's a little area here. Illidan bounded forward to confront Magtheridon. Okay, that's after this is when he fights him. Oh, so here's a fun little exchange that happens between the two of them in the book. That was not there in that cutscene. You are strong for a mortal, the Pit Lord said. I am not a mortal, said Illidan. Anything that can be killed is mortal. Sweat beaded on Illidan's brow. His breath rasped from his chest. He spread his wings and rose into the air above Magtheridon, signaling to the others it was time. Lady Vosh nodded, raised her hands, and began to chant. Lines of fire blazed across Illidan's sight, forming intricate patterns around the Pit Lord. Magtheridon roared as he understood what was happening. Illidan fed more power into the spell. The Pit Lord stood transfixed, unable to proceed. His tombstone-sized fangs glistened, reflecting the light of magical energy. He reared up, fighting against the magic as much with his huge strength as with his own sorceress might. Illidan strained against him and glanced at Prince Kael'thas. The Blood Elf licked his lips like an epicure catching sight of a feast. All this unleashed magic clearly aroused something within him. "Kael'thas!" Illidan croaked. His words carried to the elf's ears. Kael'thas spread his arms and added his voice to the spell. Colossal magical energies smashed down. The spell locked into place. The Pit Lord screamed his rage and defiance, but to no avail. He was held by bindings so strong, not even he could overcome them. Illidan smiled. Victory was his. The first stage of his long-dreamed plan was complete. Akama listened as Lord Illidan howled the final words of binding. Magtheridon stood frozen, impotent, and full of baffled rage. He flexed his mighty body, but he was held. It was done. The Pit Lord was vanquished. The defeat of Akama's people had been avenged. The Temple of Kerebor would be free of the demon's baleful influence. Akama allowed himself a moment of triumph. His strength, combined with that of the Outworld sorcerers, had been enough to overcome even so potent a demon as Magtheridon. Illidan descended to the ground. His wings snapped closed and slumped around his shoulders, and the glow faded from his magical tattoos. His arms dropped. Akama rushed to his side. "Victory is ours, O Lord." "Yes, faithful Akama, it is," Illidan said. Was there a note of mockery in the way he stressed the word faithful? It mattered not. I should have said it the way the guy in the audiobook says, was, "Yes, faithful Akama. You have freed the Temple of Kerebor." "We have freed the Temple of Kerebor." "May I ask when I may begin, Lord?" "Begin what?" A cold hand clutched at Akama's heart. He looked up at Illidan's face. He could not read the expression there. The demon hunter's features were a mask. A strip of rune cloth concealed his empty eye sockets. Perhaps it was to be as Akama had feared all along. "We must purify the temple, Lord, and prepare it to be returned to holiness. My brethren and I will work day and night to finish the required rituals. It will be as if Magtheridon's vile touch never tainted this place." Illidan nodded slowly. "There will be time for that afterward." "Afterward, Lord Illidan?" "After my business is concluded. There is much to do before Outland is freed." "But the temple is free now, is it not, Lord?" "Nowhere is free while the Burning Legion reaches out for conquest. We must fortify this place. It must become a beacon to all who oppose the demons." Akama swallowed his disappointment. He had been half expecting something like this. He let none of his thoughts show on his face. Instead, he cast his eyes down and said, "It is, no doubt, as you say, Lord Illidan. May I withdraw and share the glad news with my people?" "You may," said Illidan. He paused for a moment and said, "The temple will be returned to the broken, Akama. Just not today." "Of course, Lord I do not doubt it. Akama hurried out of Magtheridan's throne room. He must prepare to travel. He had business with one who might be able to help. As he departed, he noticed that Prince Kael'thas's mocking gaze followed him. The prince had known all along what was going to happen. So had Lady Vosh. Fortunately, the Broken had not entirely trusted Illidan's benevolence. Akama had laid such contingency plans as had seemed wise when entering into any agreement with one known as the Betrayer. If the Hunter of Demons would not help him regain the Temple of Karabor, there were those who would. It was time to seek new allies. The holy place of Akama's people would be purified, no matter what Illidan wanted. Yeah. It's such a shame, because I do sympathize with Akama, but even though he talks, he's patient, he being so close to his goal of saving his holy place, his temple, and realizing it's not quite time yet, had to have been eating at him. Now, he continued to be patient and wait, but I still say that he should have been patient just a bit longer. Because as Illidan says there, then it doesn't indicate that there was any, deception there in Illidan's force, saying there that, telling him that the temple would be returned to the Broken, just not yet, that he had to use it for his means, and then he would gladly give it back to Akama. And I fully believe he would have. At this point in time, he had no reason to deceive Akama. Akama had been a very helpful asset to him against Magtheridan, and as a sign of thank you for your assistance, here is what I will do to repay you, So there is more that I want to read here, but before we do, what do you guys say we watch one more cutscene? The finale, Kil'Jaedan's command. Moments later, as Illidan stands triumphant, a massive storm of fire and fury envelops the Black Citadel. In fact, let me read the very beginning of this little part here, because it sets up Kil'Jaedan's arrival. Illidan stood with Kael'thas and Vosh on the highest rooftop of the Black Temple, looking out over the bleak landscape of Shadow Moon Valley. The demon hunter had proclaimed his victory to the world of Outland from the battlements, but now he was restless. He did not feel as triumphant as he had expected. Instead, he felt a sense of growing dread. In the distance, the sky was red as blood. Crimson clouds raced towards the Black Temple. Powerful winds plucked at Illidan's wings. Rivers of reddish dust flowed through the air. Illidan's skin tingled, and he noticed motes of fell magic all around.
What is this, Vosh? Where did this storm come from?
Keep your head down, fool. Something terrible is drawing near.
Foolish little mongrel. You failed to destroy the frozen throne as I commanded. And still you thought to hide from me in this forsaken backwater. I thought you to be more cunning, Illidan.
Kil'Jaedan, I was merely set back. I was attempting to bolster my forces. The Lich King will be destroyed. I promise you.
Indeed. Still, these servitors you've gathered show some promise. I will give you one last chance, Illidan. Destroy the frozen throne, or face my eternal wrath.
Perhaps hiding here was not the most prudent decision. Still, the quest lies before us. Will you follow me into the cold heart of death itself?
The Naga are yours to command, Lord Illidan. Where you go,
We follow.
The Blood Elves are yours as well, Master. We will drive the Scourge before us and shatter the Frozen Throne as you command.
Okay. So now let me continue where I left off. And there is going to be repeating a bit of the dialogue here. Just forgive me. What's important is what happens in between when Kil'Jaedan first speaks and then Illidan says, Kil'Jaedan. Prince Kael'thas shouted, What is this, Vosh? Where did this storm come from? The Naga matron replied, Keep your head down, fool. Something terrible is drawing near. The motes of magic grew brighter. A shimmering aura formed in the air near the roof, coalescing into a gigantic glowing figure. It hovered above them, large as a fortress tower. Something about its shape reminded Illidan of the Broken, of the Draenei. No surprise. It was horned, its skin burned, and flames flickered around its hooves, illuminating its whole body. It radiated power that dwarfed even that of the Pit Lord. Illidan knew he was once more in the presence of Kil'Jaedan, the demon lord who commanded much of the Burning Legion. Kil'Jaedan glared down at Illidan. Foolish little mongrel, you failed to destroy the Frozen Throne as I commanded, and still you thought to hide from me in this forsaken backwater. I thought you to be more cunning, Illidan. It was impossible to do anything but meet Kil'Jaedan's gaze. The deceiver's eyes were magnetic. They compelled adoration and awe. They held an infinity of promises and an eternity of terrors. A link was established between them. This is important. This is the part I wanted to bring up here. A link was established between them. This is being initiated by Kil'Jaedan. He's linking his mind to Illidan's. The thrill of contact was electric. Illidan felt Kil'Jaedan's cruel mind inspect his own. He caught flickers of his adversary's surface thoughts. He saw worlds laid to waste, empires become playthings. Ultimate power answered to the will of this mighty being and his servants. It was all part of the deceiver's technique of seduction. This too can be yours, those eyes promised, and they left no doubt about the truth of that pledge. Obey Kil'Jaedan, and your enemies would be destroyed, your dreams of dominion fulfilled. Whatever you wished could be yours. Disobey Kil'Jaedan, and... A moment that Illidan had long dreaded and long planned for had finally arrived. He could not afford to let the deceiver read his true thoughts. There were things he did not want Kil'Jaedan to see, schemes the demon lord must not uncover until it was too late. He felt the enormous force of Kil'Jaedan's will being brought to bear. The demon lord's power crashed down on him like a tidal wave. He braced himself against it. He held it in check, then allowed the outer walls of his mind's defenses to collapse. Illidan reinforced the second layer of protection, and slowly, carefully, let it crumble, as if it were beyond his strength to resist. As he did so, he invoked the spells that he had prepared for this moment. Subtlety and near imperceptibility, his secrets vanished, buried deep within the vaults of his own mind. At the same time, he allowed Kil'Jaedan's probe to smash through the final barrier and invade what appeared to be his innermost thoughts. He felt the colossal, intrusive presence of the demon lord. It rifled through his memories. It inspected the web of his recollections, searching. Illidan kept parts of his mind sealed, as any sorcerer would. Everyone had dark secrets and longings that they wanted no one to see. Get that off. Pop-up happened. Kil'Jaedan understood such things as he understood the weaknesses of all living beings. Illidan had left him some tempting morsels while shielding entire levels of his mind behind wards of misdirection. The probe did not seek his hidden secrets. Instead, it went directly to the memories of recent events. Images flickered through Illidan's mind, pulled to the surface by Kil'Jaedan's curiosity. Illidan once again entered the corrupted forest of Felwood, keen to prove to his brother that he was no tool of the demons. He heard the ring of Warglaive against ancient enchanted blade as he battled the human traitor Prince Arthas, servant of the Lich King, the being who led the undead army known as the Scourge. They fought to a standstill. Arthas tempted him with knowledge of the location of the skull of Gul'dan. Illidan knew he had to seek it out. He felt once more the surge of ecstatic power as he broke the seals on the skull and transformed into a demon. He used the artifact's unleashed might to overcome the dreadlord Tichondrius, who had taken command of the Scourge and his host. But even in the moment of victory, Illidan knew defeat, for his brother and Tyrande saw his transformation and turned from him. He understood again there was nothing left for him but exile. He sensed Kil'Jaedan's malevolent amusement as Illidan relived his most recent meeting with the Deceiver. Kil'Jaedan offered him a chance to rejoin the Legion if he would destroy the Frozen Throne and break the power of the rebellious Lich King. Malfurion thwarted Illidan's attempt, dooming him to flee Kil'Jaedan's wrath. He felt Kil'Jaedan pause as he assessed the sincerity of Illidan's effort. He relived his flight to Outland, only to be recaptured by Maiev. Luckily, aid came in the form of Kael'thas and Vashj. Even the triumph of this very day and his overthrow of Magtheridon were scrutinized. He knew this time that Kil'Jaedan was with him, watching the Pit Lord's defeat. The Deceiver did not care who ruled Outland, so long as they ruled in the Legion's name. As suddenly as it had begun, the contact broke. The Demon Lord withdrew from Illidan's mind. He realized that what had felt like long hours passing had been the space between two heartbeats. Illidan's heart pounded against his ribs. He was instants from destruction. At this moment, not even he could stand against the might of Kil'Jaedan. If he was slain here, all his schemes and sacrifices would come to naught. He searched for the right words. They were the only weapon that could save him now. He put the appropriate note of pleading into his voice, knowing that it would flatter the demon's vanity to think Illidan abased himself. Kil'Jaedan, I was merely set back. I'm attempting to bolster my forces here. The Lich King will be destroyed, I promise you. The demon's gaze turned from Illidan to Vashj, and then settled on Prince Kael'thas. Illidan knew that all of their lives hung in the balance. There was a moment of silence that seemed to stretch into an eternity before the demon spoke again. Indeed. Still, these servitors that you've gathered show some promise. I will give you one last chance, Illidan. Destroy the Frozen Throne, or face my eternal wrath. Fell energy surged. The blaze of light around Kil'Jaedan intensified to the point of being unbearable, and when it faded, the Demon Lord was gone. Illidan exhaled a long breath. Had he done it? Had he concealed his true intentions from Kil'Jaedan? Had he deceived the Deceiver? He supposed he would find out soon enough. His fists clenched in rage at the thought of the way Kil'Jaedan had treated him. Like a puppet. He fought his anger down. The time was coming when he would make his enemies pay for what they had done, even Kil'Jaedan. Illidan just needed to wear the mask of obedience for a bit longer. I like the way that's put there, that Illidan is wearing a mask, because he wears a mask quite a bit, more than one. To buy himself some time, He had to do what the deceiver asked. He glanced at his companions. They looked back at him with doubt in their eyes. Briefly, he considered telling them of his plans, but he dismissed the idea. They too had been examined, as he had been. They too had felt the Demon Lord's threats and blandishments. Who knew how they had responded in their secret hearts? Illidan said, "Perhaps hiding here was not the most prudent decision. Still, the quest lies before us. Will you follow me into the cold heart of death itself?" Lady Vosh coiled her serpent body beneath her and stretched her torso to its full height. "The Naga are yours to command, Lord Illidan. Where you go, we follow." Prince Kael'thas looked dazed, as was only natural after having caught the full attention of a demon lord. He pulled himself together and said, "The Blood Elves are yours as well, Master. We will drive the scourge before us and shatter the frozen throne as you command." "We have some time yet," Illidan said. "There are things that I must do before we go. We must be prepared." And that is the end of Chapter 1 of the Illidan book. Just think about that, about how much of the mental power of Kil'Jaedan being able to, in a matter of a heartbeat, probe your mind and just completely inspect it. Now, Illidan, being the masterful sorcerer he is, as you heard, was able to do things with his mind to really hide his true intentions, because that's how powerful of a sorcerer Illidan has been for a long time. But yeah, that's a very creepy idea of how powerful Kil'Jaedan is when it comes to his mental capacity, and capabilities. Just think about that. How that must have been. And the fact that he probably also did that to Kael'thas and Vosh as well. Yeah. I've always, it's one of the things I actually like about Kil'Jaedan. And to me, that was just kind of like, wow. No wonder he can be the deceiver, because, well, if he can be able to probe your mind like that, he can be able to come up with the proper ways to try and deceive you or even seduce you to his way of thinking. Like how he was like, "This could be yours if you just simply obey me." Archimonde would never do that. Archimonde would be like, "Obey me or die." Kil'Jaedan's like, "Obey me, and all of this grand stuff could be yours. But disobey me, and, well, you don't want to know what the consequences are." It's a style I really enjoy from a villain. So obviously we have another campaign coming up next. The Scourge campaign. Death Knight Arthas here on the cover. The Legacy of the Damned. But before we cut off, because we will of course start that campaign next time, but before we cut off, there's one more thing I want to do to just kind of give you an idea of how, if you play this campaign, I don't know about you, but it would have probably gotten you hyped for something, right? As I mentioned before, in my opinion, this campaign did an excellent job of setting up this.
Imprisoned for 10,000 years. Banished from my own homeland. And now you dare enter my realm. You are not prepared. You are not prepared!